money. The reason we were successful is because there was an opening. Manmohan Singh, one of the great men in the world, opened up that economy and allowed us to come in and change some of the rules. SEBI and other regulations were too strict and strange about investing foreign money into India. Now there are some, I don't know, 50 or 60 international venture firms in India, and the whole concept has changed in India, where the Indians have always been entrepreneurial, whether in the informal area, territory of economics, or just normal businesses. They've always been entrepreneurial, but they were not encouraged by the Gandhi regime, the 40 years of the Gandhi family. So I think that they are now being encouraged, and that is, you know, I don't think the Indians are any brighter than the Americans, but there are a lot more of them. So the cream of the cream is a lot more people that come here. We are so lucky to get them, and we encourage it because, but now they're starting to go back to India, and the relationships of how entrepreneurs and venture capitalists work together is becoming more and more well known and encouraged. Entrepreneurship is certainly encouraged by the Indians today. My feeling is the government can do some good things, like our government has Overseas Private Investment Company, OPIC, that encourages private investment by Americans in developing countries. It has a small business investment company program that they lend you $3 for every dollar that you put in to small business. That's actually how I got started in venture capital. I used some leverage from the U.S. government. They have programs of educational programs. They put money, tax money, into research for government, into research like Stanford University, research done at Yale and Harvard, MIT. So all of those are positive. DARPA was mentioned at the conference. DARPA has, helped really start up the internet. So all of these things are important that governments can do, but the biggest, probably the most that governments can do is back away from their involvement in business to like getting a license. If you have to travel 200 miles to Delhi to get a license to go into business, something is really wrong. You should be encouraged to go in on your own and get started and make money and then tax them on their profits, and make it that. The government should have a good tax collection system and then use that money for primary education, and I think India needs to do more of that. China has done a lot of that.
Finally, I want to ask you, in your vast experience and your opinion, what makes a successful entrepreneur, or who is an entrepreneur?
I look, and I'm thought to be pretty good at picking people.
Sure you are.
I look for the vision, the original vision, and how committed that person is to following his plan through to reach that vision. I look for the brain power, the raw candle power. I look for energy level, and a strong education in the territory they want to go into. Then finally, how much they have studied the process of where they're trying to go and recognize their weaknesses. They may be very good on the technology, but very weak on the marketing that reaches the market. Have they thought about that and brought some team members in? So it's usually not one person that makes the whole, makes the stew. There can be too many cooks in the kitchen, and that works in business too. But at least you need a few specialists to get together, and how well they work as a team, and then I go for it if all those things add up.
All right, such a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Well, I'm delighted to be here, and thank you very much for having us.